Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something fun. You guys know that I like reviewing cool stuff. There's a myriad of reasons why, as I think certain things apply to the channel, certain things don't apply to the channel, but most of the time, if it's technology and it involves light, motion, recording, or pictures or anything like that, I'm going to go ahead and review it. And that's no different for this particular video. The guys at Visiogear reached out to me and they said, hey, we've got a pair of night vision, that's right, night vision infrared binoculars with 4K and high resolution photo capability. And I thought to myself, well, that's really cool. So some of you know that in the past, I was a photography teacher. I've had a small photography business on the side, as well as my illustration business. I don't know why I do that to myself. But I have a very vast knowledge with regards to photography. And I've always been interested in infrared. I remember in high school, whenever I was doing traditional photography, that's right, with chemicals and light burning and all that other stuff with the big machines, the lacy machines, that some of the students were experimenting with infrared film, and some of the pictures they came out with were absolutely beautiful. It almost looked like a snowscape, and it was all black and white, so you got to see really beautiful compositions with contrast and definition. And this was years and years ago. We're talking 30 plus years ago, when I was in high school. And now technology has gotten to the point where a night vision 4K camera, which is basically what this is, can be yours for under $300. Visiogear is again a company that, like I said, reached out to me, and they're very nice. And they said, we'd love to provide you with a pair of our binoculars so you can review them and kind of give an overview of exactly what your thoughts are. Because I've reviewed a lot of technology recently, and I know good quality, right? We all know good quality whenever we feel it, not only by the weight, by the fit and finish of the quality of the materials, to the packaging, but also to the performance. There's a lot that goes into a unit like this, from practical design to human design, right? You have to have it sizable and weightable enough that it can be carried, and that it will last, and the quality of the materials, as well as the technology put into it. I can't tell you how many times I've picked up a piece of technology and you can feel that it's just not quality. But whenever I received in the Visiogear unit, I was pleasantly surprised. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a simple unboxing. We're going to look at the materials, because that is basically a first exposure. A lot of companies overlook the unboxing process as well as the packaging, but I'm hoping Visiogear did not. Based upon my initial overview, it looks like they kind of know what they're doing. So I'm excited. I know you're excited. We're going to do some practical tests here on the farm, because I live on a farm and I'm surrounded by wildlife, not only cows, but also coyotes and bears, as well as birds. And we're going to do a practical test in the light, showing the fit and finish and the quality of that the unit produces. We're going to see how hard it is to use the unit, right? Because there's always a learning curve with regards to new technology. And then we're going to go out at night. And one of the things here in the mountains right now, it's very cold. So I say very cold, like 15 degrees at night. That's pretty cold. And a lot of technology does not perform well at night. No, I'm sorry, not at night, in the cold. So I'm anxious to see how the Visiogear unit performs, and we're going to put it through its paces. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice cup of coffee or soda or whatever your shtick is, and enjoy the review process of the Visiogear IR night vision binoculars. And here's the box that it came in. Visiogear. It doesn't have a branded Visiogear box. They do have a decal that's put on the back, but if you look on the actual item itself, it does say Visiogear. So I'm a big proponent of branded stuff instead of a company just purchasing something and sticking a decal or a sticker or a tampo print on it. It kind of shows they understand the whole mythos behind the technology they're selling. Unboxing, very simple. You see the items on the inside. This obviously is the item itself. We'll get to that in just a second, but we're going to look at what is included in the box. First of all, quick start guides, very important. The item that we'll be looking at, the binoculars themselves, have a myriad of different buttons. So this is the parts overview. Here is the user manual. Important you read stuff like this because sometimes we'll get frustrated with items and we'll suddenly realize, oh, I forgot to read the instructions. Oh my goodness. I am guilty just as much as the next guy because I am Superman and I don't need instructions. Ha ha, I jest, of course, because that is false. We need to read the instructions, obviously. We'll look at these, taking photos, taking the video, using playback mode. This does not require batteries. It has a cable, USB cable, looks like USB-C to USB, that you will need to utilize to charge the unit, which is awesome. Turn off the device, connecting to a computer. You can connect it right to a computer using said cable. And of course, here is the specifications. It's got different photo resolutions from 40 megapixels all the way down to 3 megapixels. It'll explain what sensors are inside of the unit itself. It's got a 10-degree field of view, the lens diameter, so on and so forth, 10x magnification right off the bat, and 8x digital zoom, which is awesome. Photo format that it takes is 4K video resolution, 4K, 1080, FHD, 1080p, and 720p. These are the resolutions that it takes. It records them in an AVI format. It's got a 3-inch IPS screen, which we'll look at in just a moment. And it will operate from negative 30 degrees up to 55 degrees Celsius. I think negative 30 is, I believe, 0 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure. I'm not a Celsius person, so pardon me if I am ignorant in that particular respect. Languages that it supports listed here. Recording during the day, color, recording at night, black and white. What's really cool is they gave you a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, and it supports up to 128 gigabytes. And it's a lithium ion battery, which again, awesome. They've really thought about the features. So there's your user guide, and here is a quick set. Made of cardboard, again printed, very nice, a little wrinkled right there. And it kind of gives you, if you want to just jump in and start rocking and rolling, it gives you all the button functions that we'll look at in a moment. Here is your 32 gigabyte micro SD, and it probably, since it records 4K, it is the fast, because it makes a big difference if you buy a slow, sometimes you'll put these SD cards in and it'll say does not support this particular card. It's because you don't have the correct read-write speed for that particular unit, and that is of course important. Here is an adapter if you want to take the micro SD out, put your card in and stick it in your computer or your dongle. Again, they didn't have to record this. I'll include this USB 2.0, which I'm not sure, I think it's 10 gigabyte read, right? Something like that. Here is your cord, which we'll go ahead and open. This is similar to a camera strap. We'll put that on here in just a moment. We'll undo the USB-C cable, not branded, kind of just a standard USB-C cable, and your microfiber cloth, again, not branded. Let's go ahead and open the unit itself. Nice case. It's got a little pocket in the front. You can put your items in there if you want with your cable, so everything stays secure. And if you want to loop it onto your belt, it does have a loop right here. And if you want to utilize this, which I probably will utilize that because I'll be taking this out in the wild. Let's take this out. It's encased in a plastic cubby box or bag. Okay, the unit itself looks like really nice ABS plastic, some type of polymer, very sturdy. It's got nice weight, probably weighs about 3/4 of a pound, maybe a little bit over a pound. There's the LCD screen that it mentioned. It's got a protective cover on it. Let's go ahead and take that off if I can. it's got a little tab right here that is playing games with me. It doesn't want to. Let's go ahead and put that right down. Get your trusty Swiss Army knife out. Okay, put that off to the side. This is nice plastic. It's got a little bit of texture to it, which is really good. Here are the actuation buttons. Here's that decal, that raised decal, the Vizio decal. We come over here to the actual lenses. This is the infrared IR, right? Infrared. Yes. Here's the infrared, and here is the standard. Now, this is a manual focus, but digital zoom. So whenever you go and actually utilize these and power them up, let's go ahead and press a long button. Here we go. Here's the screen. And then if you want it in focus, you have to actually use your hand on the left one to focus to make sure that it's in focus, which is no big deal. And then it switches over if I want to switch to infrared. Actually, I think that's the color. Yeah, so now we're at infrared. And then you have different actuation buttons. We're going to look at those in just a moment. We're going to power it down. Okay, power it down. Flip it over. There's a mount for a tripod. If you want this in a tripod situation, maybe you're doing bird watching, which is completely fine, and you want to have really steady photos, the tripod's going to help you. It's got little rubber grippies so it can set and it doesn't flip over or anything like that. Here are those strap little indicators here, but you can have that around your neck, which I might buy a different strap for this because I think I want to utilize this on the bag. We'll see. Put that to the side. Here's the I/O interface ports, USB for charging and interface with your computer, and SD card, which will go ahead and put in. It's always fun to put these in because they put them in such a place. First of all, a lot of times it's not easy. And and sometimes the slot is very hard and you need fingernails, which I don't have because I clipped them. Let's go ahead and flip it around. Put that in and it goes right in. And a lot of times, you know, it's good whenever it's got a little bit of spring to it. So let's go ahead and use the corner of my nail. You'll hear it click. Okay, now it is completely inserted and it's got rubber covering and seal. So these are probably rain resistant. This is probably rain resistant, which is really good because this is an outdoor device. I don't see myself going through my house wearing this on my head or anything like that. Of course, it would be cool, but since it already has a 10x zoom, I'd probably be hitting the walls and stuff with my face. Quality, fit and finish quality is really good. This is rubberized right here. Don't really know why, because I'm not going to be putting this up to my face or anything like that, because it is one of those devices that you would look through like this, probably about 8 to 10 inches from your face, to see what you're looking at in the dark. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do an overview of the buttons and such outside and just kind of let you guys see what it does. And then we're going to, what is that right there? That's rubber. That's a screw hole. We're going to use it at night. We're going to take some pictures and some video, and we're just going to talk about light overall with the Visiogear infrared binoculars. Pretty cool. Okay, and here we are as a practical test, and I just wanted to give a baseline as far as natural lighting, the capabilities of the Visiogear IR infrared night vision binoculars. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try this first. Let's see how it goes. Here's the unit right here, unpowered on. So we talked about these buttons right here. So all I do is just do a long hold, probably 1, 2, 3. Power's on the unit. And you can see in color. So let's do a little focus here on the left-hand side. Get a little bit better in focus. There we go. You can see I live on a farm, and the color saturation as compared to the iPhone is really good. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in on my cow buddies here. We're gonna go ahead and zoom in. Very cool. Now, in terms of shaky, I don't think it has any Steadicam technology because it is pretty shaky. But what we're going to do, whoa, those are going to go ahead and zoom out. And right now it is in picture mode. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and hit the OK button, and that'll take a photograph. Photograph 1. Photograph 2. Photograph 3. And it says over there on the right hand side, it says 40M. I wonder if that's 40 megapixels. We are going to test it. So let's go ahead and we're going to zoom back out. And we're going to do a little bit more of a wider shot. Actually, I already zoomed out. So we're going to go ahead and hit, there's some nice trees in the distance. Okay, then we're going to hit the M button again over here on the top. And that switches it to 4K record mode. So let's go ahead and hit the OK, and it starts recording 4K footage. There it goes. And we're going to go ahead and zoom in on Mr. Cow there. Okay. You can see the resolution is absolutely phenomenal. Whoa. And I'm not really shaking this that much, so you can see that it's pretty shaky. I think a tripod would probably be better, but I just wanted to give a real world. Let's go ahead and zoom up, or go ahead and pan up. The mountains. We got Mr. Cow over there walking. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get some of his action. Okay, and this is all 4K video as noted right there, Ultra HD. Okay. All right, and we're good to go. So obviously, whenever I'm recording in the daytime, pressing that little button right there is going to switch it to IR mode. Now I'm in infrared mode, but it looks similar because again, we're in full light. So we're gonna wait until this evening when it's like 15 degrees. Yeah, this is a real world test. So you hunters that are looking for an option to hunt with in the cold, this is going to be a great test to see how it performs in extreme conditions. So let's go ahead and look at the video. Okay, before I go into downloading the video, we're going to go ahead through the menu prompts. So long press the M button. That will bring up the sub menu for the baseline modification. So you can modify things such as photo size, go in 40 megapixels, 30 megapixels, so on and so forth, depending on your video card needs. To get back, just hit the OK button, it'll go back. And then the up down arrows to go ahead and go through. There's your self timer. You can do a photo burst. You can do of 3 photos, which is pretty nice. Every time you take a photo, it'll take 3 photos. So I go back, video size, 4K 1080p, FHD 1080p, HD standard, and 720p. I'm sure all of these things, depending on your video card, what you're going to want. Loop recording. You can loop if you like. Hit OK. And video rate. Normal, slow, and fast. So it has sort of like a slow motion. I'm sure that has to do with time lapse. And then fast, which again, it'll record things quickly, but we're not going to mess with those. So that's pretty easy. And to get out of that menu, you hit OK again, and it goes back. I'm sorry, you hit the M button, and it goes back to the mode. So let's go ahead and get that video card out of here. Go ahead, hit long press and the animation. And to access the side panel, as noted, whenever we went ahead and messed around, yeah, I'm gonna have to get a little bit of a pry because it's really in there, because there is a rating, moisture rating. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that taken care of and get the video card onto the PC and we can look at the video. Okay, and here is the removable media that I just popped out of the Visiogear unit. We're gonna go ahead and double click on the file folder, and you can see laid out very nice. We're gonna go through the pictures first. And open. Ah, here we go. Oh, really nice. We're gonna go in full screen. So obviously, since I was doing recording, here's the timestamp. I'm not sure if you can get rid of that. It does have the date. Wow. 4/29/2024, 29/4. Anyway, I could probably set the date and time. So let's go ahead to the next one. Oh, nice. And there is a little bit of depth of field here, so that's exquisite. Again, I wasn't expecting the world, but it is a nice picture, good definition, especially considering there is some atmospheric. We had very cold weather last night, so we've got a little bit of fog. We had some snow, but overall, and I'm not getting any fog in the lenses from any heat variable or any moisture, because a lot of times when things get really cold, you get a little bit of an issue. So let's go ahead to the video file. Yeah, that's what I thought. It is quite shaky, but overall, I mean, if you had it on a tripod, kind of reminds me of that Bigfoot footage that's so famous. But 4K video from the binoculars, really, really nice. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wait till the evening. We're going to get this in the same environment. It's going to be considerably a bit colder, probably about 15 degrees tonight. Yeah, I mean, that is really, really good. Look at the definition of that. 4K video, absolutely. Nice definition on the leaves in the foreground. I don't really see any major distortion or anything like that. And I'll probably put it on a tripod for posterity and to make the product shine a little bit nicer. I mean, my hand wasn't really shaking, but again, it doesn't have stability control in it. And that, at this price point, I didn't really expect that. Okay, and here we are outside in what I like to refer to as pretty dark. As you see, the skies it almost looks like it's at sunset, but it's not. The iPhone tends to push up the contrast with regards to current status of light and day. So whenever I come down and I basically start filming the yard, you can't see anything. So just to give you context, I'm going to go ahead and flip you around. Okay, so basically you can't really see my face. I'm going to wiggle my head. So I just wanted to, again, give you context. My yard, or my house, is in the back. I'm in the yard currently, and it is pretty much, I'd say, 85 to 90% dark. This is very similar to what a hunter would experience if he or she were to go out. Now, obviously, I'm not in the forest, but we are going to take some shots of the holler, and you can kind of get an understanding of how good the unit is. So let's get to it. Okay, currently you're looking at about 31 degrees. It is quite cold outside. I wish this thing had a thermometer on it, but it does have just about everything else. It's got in the screen your battery notification, says infrared is off. It gives the date. It gives the SD card, 32 gigabyte, 40 megapixel picture. So we're going to go ahead and hit the mode button. And we're going to go to 4K, and then we're going to go ahead and turn on the infrared. So what I'm noticing immediately is it works really good within about 25 feet. So we're not going to be able to see all the way down the holler. So if we go up, so the holler wood line is about 250 to 300 feet away. So we're not going to see that distance, but we are going to be able to see probably in front of us. Let's go ahead and adjust the focus right quick. There we go. Much better. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, and this is just for context, see, because right here's my hand, and all up here is complete darkness. So you can see that the infrared is really good, probably within about 25 feet to 30 feet. I'll go ahead and see if I can't get a better adjustment. Okay, so again, we're going to go ahead and turn it, and you can start seeing there's the fence. You can't see anything. You can't see any of the fence. You can definitely see it is working. The infrared is working very, very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically turn it on. I'm going to take a video recording, and I'm going to walk the property a little bit just to give you context. So on the right-hand side, you can see infrared activated. If I were to go ahead and turn the infrared off, okay, and I were to move this out of the way slightly, you can't really see the truck that's there, okay? So then I'm going to go ahead and turn the infrared on, and you can see it's there plain as day. So the infrared feature definitely works very well, even when it's 27 degrees or 30 degrees or whatever it is right now. I don't want to be out in this too long because it's pretty cold. It's supposed to get down to like 19 or 20 tonight, so. Okay, here are a few 4K photos that I took with the Visiogear unit. You can see, even though it is complete dark outside, with the night vision, I'm able to pick up silhouettes and some really good details. And here's some of the 4K of me just walking around with the unit activated. So I mentioned before about the 30 foot, and what I'm realizing is the IR sensor that is sending out that infrared light from the unit itself probably reaches about 25 to 35 feet. And I'm testing this in absolute complete darkness. And that's probably not what this is quote unquote specifically designed for. I would think that twilight would be good. It would beef up some of the details when you have existing light, maybe from a sunset or a sunrise, or even maybe moonlight. Moonlight would probably be ideal for this particular unit, unless, of course, you had a handheld infrared light that shone out and was really powerful. That way you could see things in a distance. Here I shut the camera completely off, not off, but I switched over to normal mode and then back to infrared. So you can see that even in the midst of what it's capable of, that it's much better than complete darkness. Here we go. I've switched it to normal mode and then back to infrared. And you can see it definitely works. I would be anxious to see, I don't know, maybe some of the other products they possibly offer. There we go. There, I've switched it to normal mode and back to infrared. So you can see the IR definitely works very, very well. Okay, so my final thoughts about the Visiogear Nova 4K night vision binoculars with the 3-inch HD screen, 7 levels of infrared, night vision, 32 gigabyte card. Price point currently on Amazon about $73 to $74. Retail is $200. First of all, I think you need to really measure your expectation. Do your due diligence, do some research with regards to what stuff like this costs, right? It does have a lot of features on it that are pretty cool. It's even hard to find a 4K camera these days that takes decent 4K shots, or even a pair of binoculars, electronic binoculars, and even take 4K pictures. Oh, I'm sorry, 40 megapixel pictures. This has a lot going on. It does a lot, right? From night vision to 4K recording to 40 megapixel pictures to binoculars, all at a price point at around $74 to $75 from Amazon currently. I managing my expectations, right? So whenever I received them in, obviously I don't have a lot of experience with regards to infrared and night vision. And from my point of view, I was thinking military grade night vision, right? When it's green and you can see, out in the distance, and you can walk around maybe with you on your head. That is an expectation that is not practical, right? Not at a $75 price point. If I was turning around and spending 3, 4, 500, or even a couple grand, maybe I could get close to what the military has. Maybe half or even 25% of what the military has for that price point. Overall, I thought it was a great item. I enjoyed it. And I think that possibly in the future, I might use it to maybe if I hear stuff in the holler or if I hear stuff in the mountain, maybe I'll take them out and I'll look to see if we have coyotes, because we do have coyotes. We also have Sasquatch up here in the mountains. For those of you who don't know what that is a very large hairy beast. Think Bigfoot, Yeti, somewhere around those things. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, for $73, this could be a great Christmas gift for your kids. It could be something that you put in a stocking stuffer. You can, for your hunter, either a hunter or even wildlife. That would be really cool if maybe you're a zoo employee and you need to go out and you need to look at some of the animals on the savannah in the zoo. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here. But it says in the documentation, it says all unrivaled night vision performance, harness military grade precision with starlight level sensor and 7 adjustable IR levels. It says 1,000 feet of crystal clear visibility. I didn't get that. I didn't get 1,000 feet. Maybe in the daytime, that's possible. But in the nighttime, just because the lens here on the right hand side that shows or projects that infrared light, so the sensors can pick it up. I didn't see it. I mean, you saw the video. It was maybe, I don't want to say 30. Really clear 30 feet. And once you get past that, it starts falling off significantly. And I was in total darkness. It does have a really good display on it, and overall fit and finish and quality is really good. I haven't dropped it or anything like that, but the plastics are really high quality, and overall, I give it probably an A out of all the letters I could give it. I thought it was fun, and for those of you who are interested in a good pair of binoculars, now obviously it would be nice if it had some type of stability control, because it reminded me back of some of the cameras that I had back in the 80s and 90s where it didn't have stability control, so it's a lot of shaky, right? There's a lot of shaking going on. But overall, big shout out to the guys at Visiogear who were interested in me reviewing this product. Like I said, I give it an A. It's a great option for a hunter, for an enthusiast, and maybe somebody that's just interested in seeing what's going on in their yard in the dark, right? If you don't have spotlights. So, thank you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you like what you see. And as always, go and invest a little bit in the people around you, and maybe even in yourself. Go and take a walk or go outside and enjoy the outdoors. Okay? All right, you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.